And here's a typical load of scaffolding. So decks, these are 7-footers, braces, 5x5 frames, and casters. So casters, they go in here at the bottom so that it's easy for people to move the structure, and then pigtail locks they're put in there. So it's an ingenious, simple way, no tools required to assemble all this and disassemble. And then of course these can be 7 feet long, they can be 5, or most popular is 10. But same frames, but also we have half frame, which is like this size, and then we have same height, but half kind of like cut horizontally. Some people want that. So this is called trademark scaffolding, so large frames. Because we also have Baker scaffolding, which is yellow color and it's much, much smaller. So now you know what it is.
Well, today is Thursday, and the day is not starting right because my service phone says low battery. I just started, but there's no cable. Somebody took the cable from this truck. I'm in a pickup truck, F350. And also I have 3 deliveries now. In the truck I have 3 deliveries of scaffolding. Not big ones, but you know, took a while to sort everything, right? Make sure that every order is fulfilled. And then I went to grab some coffee. Felt like I needed coffee. Normally I don't drink coffee anymore in the morning. I just get some decaf, but this morning I stopped by Starbucks and I said, give me a tall Americano, half decaf. So 1 real shot and 1 decaf. The sun is so bright today. Like I was driving towards the sun and you cannot see anything, like, because it's so low above the ground. And now I'm gonna be turning this way. I tried glasses, doesn't work because glasses make everything dark. But my first delivery is pretty much a couple of blocks away from my home. Man, how are we gonna be driving here? All right, at least it's over there a little bit. But now once I turn on the main, this is 201, the ring road. It's like so freaking bright, you know? Better turn on my lights so that people also can see me, because everybody else is also blind. Yeah, now it's right into my face. And everybody slows down. Look at this guy. He's barely driving. Wow. You ever think about this freaking sun? Like, it's been burning for millions of years, right? And they're saying it's gonna burn long after we all gone. Like, how much stuff does it have in there, you know, to burn? It's amazing. It's like doesn't end, right? Okay, at least now I can see something. But before, the sun was right on the edge of the road, you know, like, but of course now it's going up. But I think it's getting worse, you know, like the sun is burning brighter. Maybe it has to do something with the sky, you know, with the all those iron layers getting thinner. Anyway, so this is the exit I usually take when if I go home and I take the ring road, which normally I don't. I just use the local roads because I keep an eye on you know, Uber and Lyft. By the way, yesterday finished at 4:30 and went across the street to the retail plaza. Sat there for 20 minutes, nothing on Uber, nothing on Lyft. And then I started moving, and right away they're giving me a ride, giving me a passenger. Where did I pick her? There was a young lady. Yeah, somewhere, you know, very close to where I was sitting. And of course I have no idea where she's going. You know, I want to go home. I feel tired after work, you know. I was just hoping for a short run. And she's going to 16 Ave and 52nd Street, which is like 18 kilometers. Holy moly. Okay, so I go there, drop her off, and she said, I said, where do I stop, because it's like a retail plaza. And she said, oh, I just at that cannabis store, you know, like weed store. And then she says, actually, can you go around the corner, drop me at the bank? There was an RBC bank in there. So I think she was trying to cover her movements. She was actually going to buy some weed, and in case somebody's watching, she made me to drop her off at the bank. No, of course I'm joking. I think she just realized she had no money or something, and she wanted to take out some cash or something. And then I'm sitting there and nothing. Like, I look on the map, it says busy, like $$ very busy. Okay, so where's the passengers, you know? Like, there was a good area. I tried food only, nothing. No, I think they offered me something like, what, $3, 10 kilometers. I switched back to, you know, Uber X, and then finally I said, okay, that's it. I sat there probably 20 minutes, and I put filter by destination, basically try to find me rides towards my home. And I started driving back home. Uber didn't find me anything, and so I drove 18 kilometers back, pretty much, and that's it. Called it a night. Oh, and yesterday my Durango was, you know, the guy never called me. Like, I told him, okay, this is where the car is, this is where the key is, and the guy said, okay, I'm on my way there. And that was the last message. So I wanted to text him, say, hey, everything is fine, but the guy didn't text me, so I assumed it was fine. And so I'm coming home, and I was expecting to see the Durango still sitting there. No, the Durango is gone, clear spot. So, because normally, you know, since I have two cars, right? So I parked the Durango in my legal spot near the apartment, and then I parked the Jeep on the street somewhere, because there's free parking everywhere there. But now, since the Durango is gone, the Jeep got back its natural place, and it's so easy in the morning. I don't have to walk, you know. I just open the door and the Jeep is right there. So I really like living on the first floor, you know. Okay, so this is my street. I just have to find the house where I'm dropping off. Normally I see a truck there unloading some drywall. Normally that's the first indicator, so that's where I'm going. And quite often we're almost fighting with these guys, you know, because he's moving stuff in there overhead, right? I don't want to be under that load. Oh, it's okay, go ahead. Like, what? I'm guessing it's that one with the orange cover on the garage. Okay, let me check the address and then we'll deliver. All right, so dropped off 2 large frames, 2 10-footed decks, and 1 brace. That's it. And these guys are, well, see, I was right, it's the same house. The guy stands on the window of a 2nd floor with the remote, and, you know, there's nobody there, because those drywall decks, you know, they kind of like spaced on some 4x4s or something, and so he can just slide his forks in there, and he's standing, and then he just maneuvers that thing, and he has to turn it sideways to get into the window, you know. It's like real tricky. So it's a beefed up Freightliner, I see it's a pretty heavy axle in the front, not 20,000 but probably 18. But ugly looking truck, like I hate these, but people buy them. Dual air horns on the roof, nice. And the houses in front of me, because north is this way, west is this way. That's where the storm came last summer that damaged my Jeep. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the siding is all screwed up. And this guy is unloading some plumbing supplies. Probably gonna be installing some plumbing. But the good news is that, you know, quite often the problem with these deliveries is there's nowhere to park. And you have to carry these decks, you know, like I have to park across the street. But this time, this guy almost backed in here. And then he saw me, he left a space. So I was able to back right to the garage. And struggle with that curtain, you know, that orange tarp. Because it's nailed in the middle. So like the opening was very low. So I propped some a piece of wood in there just to open it a little bit, and had to slide the frame sideways and just drop everything in there. It's in a pile. They'll find it. Yeah, so it's already an established community, surprisingly. So they still had probably some empty lots that they're finishing now. But yeah, this is all pretty much very new, you know. So now my next one is also a very small delivery. 2 frames, 2 decks, 1 brace, same as I did here. But we're going 19 clicks. 19 clicks in the opposite direction, northwest Calgary. Oh, I see a guy in a skid steer doing something there. Spreading some gravel. See, like mostly it's all done. Actually, nice looking houses. Like this one is pretty big. Wow, probably like 2,000 square feet at least. Yeah, I see empty lot. So somebody buys it, they're gonna build a house in there. Yeah, it's interesting that I got to deliver in my area, but this is called Cornerstone. Mine is Skyview Ranch, just after the second light.
In 1.8 kilometers, take a slight right turn onto Venus Trail Northeast.
Yeah, so now we're going back to the ring road, which would take us west. So yeah, it's like we have that saying in Russian, вроде зебры, жизнь вроде зебры. So I got scaffolding to deliver, which is not good because it's heavy first thing in the morning. But then I found blueberry bars in the lunchroom. I had 2. But I noted down calories. I look on the box, it says 1 tiny blueberry bar has 140 calories. So breakfast, 280 calories. Done. So I'm still within my, you know, like for the day I have the allowance of 1590, 1590, basically 1600 calories. That's all I do. So I just usually have a lunch around 11, stop somewhere on the road, or I bring something with me, which doesn't happen too often, and then I have dinner. That's it. So I just eat twice a day and I feel okay. Just, you know, count the calories, and this Lose It app really works. So 2 years ago I was 196 pounds when I moved to Alberta. I scaled yesterday or this morning. I'm 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. 174.6. doesn't seem like much, but it takes a lot of willpower and effort to lose 20 pounds. Anybody who tried will understand. But yeah, 196, and then I did some research, and they say, oh wow, with my height of like just under 6 feet, so 181 centimeters, anything over 180 is overweight. What? So I was 16 pounds overweight according to that. So yeah, now I want to bring it down to 170. So 170 pounds, that would be perfect because it's 77 kilos. So when I was 20 years old, my weight was 71 kilos. But I remember when I was standing up, I would have, you know, what do you call it? My sight would grow, you know, dim, like you almost ready to lose consciousness, you know, when you stand up quickly. So that was too low, 71 kilos. But you know, they say that normally your weight at that age, 18-20, that's your perfect weight. But in my case, I think it was too little, because like I said, I was getting lightheaded when I would stand up. So I think 77 kilos or 170 pounds, perfect. Because yeah, last time I went to, when I did medical for my class 1, my pressure was slightly elevated. And the doctor says, well,
go past this light, then use the right lane to keep right to merge onto Highway 201 West.
He said, well, it's probably because, you know, most people, their pressure is elevated when they come to clinic. That's why he says we prefer people to measure their pressure at home. Do you have a blood pressure, you know, measuring machine at home? I said, no, why would I have it? That's why I come here. I pay you the big bucks, right? Fucking guy, look at this guy. Drunk or something? Like he's driving over the line, or he's on the phone or something, but he was going right into me. Truck drivers, huh? You can't live without them, you can't live with them. By the way, here, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but each time I look into like when I'm passing a semi-truck or somebody's coming, you know, at an intersection, I see a semi-truck with a 53-foot trailer, especially drive-in. If it's a drive-in, the driver behind the steering wheel wears a turban. I don't know, it's some kind of a special requirement. Something is going on with my phone. It's loud 1 minute, then it's almost silent. And this is Highway 2. So we're going west now on the ring road. That's Highway 2 or Deerfoot Trail. So if you take this exit, you see it says Edmonton. You can go north and you end up in, I don't know, Yellowknife somewhere. Fort McMurray, probably. That's where there's a lot of construction, you know, mines. Popular place for fly-in, fly-out jobs. You know, when they pay you, you work for, let's say, 2 weeks, and then they pay you to get back home, and then they pay you to get back to work. So let's say you work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, you know, Actually, I was trying to find something like that, but with my limited experience with a wheel loader and skid steer, you know, nobody. I see some flashing lights in the distance. That's not good. Some kind of accident up ahead. Now let's look at this guy. Is he wearing a turban? Yep, turban and glasses. I hope those are safety glasses. It's probably special, like, you know, like I'm wearing a safety vest. I think that's what it is. But that must be something new, because when I was trucking, they didn't require me to wear a turban. I don't know. Oh, it's not an accident. Okay, just the cop stopped some speeder. But normally you don't see them over here. Interesting. Oh yeah, I know why. It's the end of the month, so they need to do their quota. And see, it's a pickup truck. It's but at least it's not undercover. It's marked with signs. All right, where are we going? 14th Street. Okay. So we're almost there. I need that. I have 10 clicks left. It's getting hot in here. So we started at -3. Now it's 0. And by the end of the day, I think the highest today will be like +7, +8. Interesting weather, you know. But gradually the mornings are becoming warmer, because before it was like -8, -6. So today -3. So the mornings are getting slightly warmer, and the temperature rises more in the afternoon. Oh well, my battery is at 11%. I don't have a cable. Like I have this. This is my cable, but it's for the new iPhone, so it's not gonna fit in here, because this is the old style iPhone. So you need that iPhone, you know, regular connector. Whereas mine is same as Android now. It's interesting, like how they changed the ports, you know, and nobody talks about this. But what's cool is that my GoPro, the one I'm recording it with, has the same connector, so I can use the same cable now for GoPro, for the phone. I don't have to carry 20 cables. It's really convenient, you know. Oh, by the way, yesterday my new battery arrived, but I'm using now my older one. I threw out that blue battery, which was dying at 50%. I threw it out, so now I have like with a white marker. I have that one that I bought like a year ago, and yesterday the one that's arrived, I opened the package, it also has a white marker. But I checked the charge, 1%. You see, low battery, so I left it at home. I'm gonna charge it tonight. And my Durang,
right.
Oh, you see, like what's happening? Keep right. Shoot. So yeah, now we are in Northwest. Nice looking new houses, like there's new construction everywhere.
Stay in the middle lane.
Wow. Why are you so loud all of a sudden? Oh, I see. Something is going on with this phone. Or we got lucky with a cab over sighting Freightliner Argosy, ladies and gents, on the left. You don't see them often because they stopped making them, I forgot what year.
Turn left onto 144 Avenue Northwest.
144 Avenue. This is one crazy intersection here. There's no light. And especially in the evening, you'll be sitting there on that road trying to go left or right forever. And so people created little shortcut here there in the dirt. They just go on the dirt and they drive over here. Because seriously, like, especially, yeah, okay, to turn right, it's okay this way, but to turn that way, it's pretty much impossible when there's traffic here. Oh, nice looking Chevy. They really should have a light in here, because sooner or later somebody's gonna get killed. Because this is main road, those guys have a stop sign. See, that guy's trying to turn left, like he'll be waiting forever. Like, I cannot turn left and I'm on the main road. Alright, after this guy I think we can go. Sucker. Oh, and the sun disappeared. Beautiful, because we have clouds. But yeah, man, in the morning it was, you know, when the sun is right at the road, like very low, and it's so bright, I had to slow down. I couldn't see where I was going, you know. Okay, so this one is easy. 2 frames, 2 decks, 1 brace. Boom, boom, boom. Like my previous one, I did, you know, I have to write down the time of arrival and departure. I think I did like 6 minutes. And half of the time it took to open the tarp and prop it open so that it stays open, so I have a hole to get into the garage. Oh yeah, yesterday, another piece of bad news. I got my monthly report from the real estate broker. Like, these guys are unbelievable, you know. I'm definitely gonna use them when I'm selling this apartment and buying something else, because they're so nice, you know. Like the real estate company that I used to buy this apartment, and how I found them, I wasn't even looking for them. I went to mls.ca or realtor.ca, you know, where all the listings are. What is called MLS, you know, multi-listing service. And these guys, the way they market themselves, you know, somehow they, even though it's not his apartment, but actually he was acting as a he was acting as a buyer's agent, you know. So there's an apartment listed. I send them an email. Oh wow, check this out. Some nice heavy equipment on the right. Huge dozer. And the dozer is the height of the rock truck. Holy moly. Kitco, the construction company, that's the excavator there. I applied with them a couple of times. No interest, no response. Oh, Captain Sergey, you have 500 hours. Unbelievable. We'll give you $50 an hour to start. Oh, yeah, right. So what I was talking about? Oh yeah, so the apartment was listed. So I emailed the guy, and it turns out he's not a seller. Like, what? How do you get that published? You know, if you're not the realtor, you don't have this apartment. But turns out somehow they have these, like, I'm guessing the selling agent somehow allows them to do this. And so, oh, I'm guessing I know why. Because the selling agent doesn't want to bear any expenses. So instead of paying money for advertising on this MLS website, he just sends these apartments to real estate companies. Like there was a lady she's working with, and she got the whole building where I'm living, because it was the building was owned by the builder, whoever built it. It was a rental property, right? They were renting everything, and then they started converting them into condos. And so they contacted this lady somehow. She's probably like, I don't know, a wife of a builder or something. But so she got this lucrative, you know, there's 4 buildings in there, you know, there's so many apartments, right? So she got that, and then she contacted, let's say, the company where my guy works, like the realtor I found, and now he advertises. So he pays for advertising, right? And when I call him or email him, it's a bit confusing. Like, wait, so you're not the seller, right? Oh no, I work as a buyer's agent. But he was so nice, this guy, and so he lined up like 5 or 6 properties, and I just look at them, and this apartment was, I think, like number 3, and I said, that's it, I like this. Small apartment, ground floor, second entrance right into my parking lot. Like, it's unbelievable. I got lucky that, you know, I don't even have to walk across the lot. I opened the door, my car is right there. Like, I don't know, 3 meters, 10 feet away from my door. You know, that's my designated parking. And so these guys are so nice. So that was October 22, and every month they send me a market report. And it's not just some BS, you know, with statistics, but it's actually sales numbers in my area. You know, like whatever was like property that was sold. So I look at the I always try to find my address, you know, my building number, and then I look at the, and then I can click on that one, and it tells me if it's if this was a 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom, and then I see the price. And so last summer my apartment was $265,000. That's what similar 1-bedrooms were selling for in my building. Like, and they were on the market for like 10 days, and people paid higher than the asking price. So now like 2 months ago, they sent me an update. I saw that my apartment is now down to $250, and it's similar apartments were selling for that price, like real money. And yesterday I got the latest one, and it says that in my building, what, flies or something? In my building, a similar apartment. Do I turn here?
Turn right onto Shagadown
Yeah.
Trail Northwest.
Sold for $240,000. Holy mackerel, you know? So down from 265, and it was on the market for 72 days, and they were actually asking $242. And it, so basically, which shows you that the market is shot, right? The properties stay on the market very long, nobody wants to buy them, and the price they pay is lower than what the guy was asking. Like, so very disappointing. So I was hoping to sell my apartment for $1 million, preferably US, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
Turn left onto Edith Place Northwest. Then
Okay, my battery is at 7%. Well, when I get back, I'll have to go find a cable somewhere.
Turn left. Then the destination is on your left.
Okay, Edith Place. Edith Place. And this is Edith Place. Interesting. So it's like a big circle. This is Edith Place, this is Edith Place. I didn't put the building number, I just put the street, because sometimes, and actually one trick I learned is that because
The destination is on your left.
normally
Arrived.
normally it's a drywall company, right, where I'm that's rented this. So normally it's a brand new house, and quite often Google doesn't have the building number. You know, they have the street. Well, quite often they don't even have the street. Then I have to go and look at municipal maps. I have an app on the phone. But the easiest trick is, if the Google Maps cannot find that particular building, I just grab the building number and I put the street only, and that's what happened in this case, I think. Actually, no, I put in the, oh, it's this one. Oh wow, cool. Normally that's another telltale sign, like the orange tarp. See, like that one. And we have to drop into the garage. Is that my building? Yeah. And of course, you know, see, that's what I'm talking about parking. Why you have to park like in the middle like this, you know? All right, I'll better go check for nails, and then I'm just gonna back in there. All right, and I have to write down my arrival time. So unloading took 5 minutes. And now, actually, we're not going too far, just 8.5 clicks to the last one. But this one, it's my favorite. You know, smaller decks. Whereas these two deliveries, I had 10-footed decks, and they're real 10 feet, you know, like 3 meters. They're huge. But this last one is 7-foot decks. They're like twice the weight, you know, 50% of the weight of the 10-footer. Well, almost, because I can easily carry 2 of them, whereas carrying 2 10-footed decks, it's already a bit of a struggle, you know. But 7-footers, and then we also have 5-footers, 5-footed decks. And so, and also these guys ordered, oh, check out that cutie. And these guys ordered not regular frames like 5x5, but narrow frames, which are like 1/3 of the size, and they're tall. No, probably, I don't know, chest high, but 3 feet wide. So very light. So light frames, light decks, and also, of course, braces are 7 feet long. So they're also much lighter than 10-footer braces. But braces are probably the easiest part.
Turn right onto Shaganappi Trail Northwest.
Okay, we had 3% battery. Okay. Uh-oh, illegal U-turn, buddy. Oh, it's a girl. All right. We let it slide this time. No, actually, I think it's legal here because there's a stop sign, and it's a T intersection. You're allowed to make U-turns at T intersections, as long as one of the roads is not the entry to a shopping center or a company, you know, some yard. So if it's like real roads with a stop sign, I'm pretty sure it's legal. Yeah, it doesn't show, but we're going southeast, kind of like towards downtown, because I'm in the northwest, so now we're just going southeast. And so yeah, I'm gonna use those real estate guys because they're so nice, and they have all kinds of, you know, drawers, like you can win like a, you know, like a lottery. But I think I participated in a couple of them, but never won anything. But still, you know, they stay in touch, you know. They stay in touch and they provide me valuable information about my how my property changes its value. But yeah, hopefully prices will start going up eventually. But yeah, my goal was 300,000. That's when I'm willing to pull the trigger. But basically I want to stay in the same area, northeast, because I like the area, I like the airport, being close to the airport. My dad was a pilot. I like watching planes land and take off, and when I do Uber, I'm like 5 minutes away from the airport. It's useful. So I want to be in the same area and close to work, because I still plan to work there, because this time I'm not taking that BS from the bank with 25% down. I'm an employee now. They should let me buy a property with 5% down. And like I mentioned, with 40,000 down, I could have bought an $800,000 home, like something like this, And of course, a house goes up in value much more than an apartment, because you actually own a piece of land. Except many people say that this is kind of like it's a joke, because each house, the separation, the gap between them is like, I don't know, 2 meters, 6 feet. So if your neighbor plays loud music, you could probably hear it, So oh, actually, yesterday I was in this area northwest. What I was delivering? I was delivering something. I think it was scaffolding again. And I saw a sign that says last estate-like properties or something. And I at first I couldn't understand what they were talking about. It says 1.1 million, like new houses. Same as this is a townhouse. Oh, actually, I like these, like a townhouse. But I don't like that it's 3 stories, when I'm like 70 years old, climbing to the 3rd floor to look into your neighbor's window, it's awkward, But I like the setup. So I don't want to clean snow, I don't want to clean the grass. Actually, I used to live in one of these when I was in Scarborough, Ontario, Toronto. I used to rent a bedroom, and so like these can have a bunch of bedrooms, like 3 bedrooms, right? And you can rent them out. All I need is 1 bedroom for myself, or I can sleep in the kitchen, and get 3 tenants, and we are cooking with gas. And I lost my thought again. Yeah, I was saying that I want to stay in the same area, right? Yeah, a townhouse would be nice. Oh yeah, sorry, I was talking about that estate sale. So it turns out I noticed that those houses, that's why they call them like last available estate, like houses in Calgary. They had a very large lot, not like this, 6 feet apart between houses, but it's like basically you can build 3 houses on that lot, but there was only 1 house, just a regular looking 2-story, probably 3-bedroom, but it says 1.1 million starting from 1.1 million. And also a friend of mine owns a house in Edmonton, and he hears me talk about this, that I want to buy a bigger property eventually, and he says, Sergey, do you know how much expenses how expensive it is to own a house. And so he has no mortgage, and he just calculated all his bills and, you know, property tax. And of course his property taxes are much higher than mine, because my apartment is like 550 square feet. His is, I think, is like 2,000. So, and I think that the amount was a bit overwhelming, even without a mortgage payment. So I have no idea where I'm going, but I'm gonna stop somewhere, and my phone is fully charged, and I'm gonna plot the route on my phone. Okay, Bronco on the left. I don't know why some guys are really excited about this monster. I hate them. They look ridiculous, you know. But I guess if you're a big off-road fan, a guy at work is eyeing one of these. He wants to buy he found a slightly used Bronco with like huge tires and huge wheels, like, you know, for off-roading. All right, where do I stop? I have to stop somewhere to put the route in my phone. So we were, what is it, like 8 kilometers? So yeah, I'll stop somewhere here. Otherwise I'll end up in downtown. Perfect. Good thing I don't work for Lansta anymore. Otherwise they'll say, sitting duck, you're fired. Okay, look at my phone. Man, I love the display real estate. So it turns out I stopped right in time, because I'm supposed to turn at this intersection. Can you believe this?
At the light,
Like,
use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Country Hills Boulevard Northwest.
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought I was supposed to keep going, you know? But I stopped right in time because I had a feeling.
Turn left.
Yeah, this 16 Max is a beaut. I love this phone. I'm not gonna give it back. I'm sorry, Telus. But this is, again, it's on this 2-year bring it back program, which saves me $500. So after 2 years I have to pay them $500. But based on the previous one that I gave back to them, 2 years, it's nothing, you know. I take care of them. I have a nice, super expensive case, like nothing on the front, nothing on the display itself on the screen, but in the back, like, it's very durable. Like, it protects the sides and the back. And I'm always putting it in the pocket somewhere, so I'm being careful. So yeah, 2 years. Maybe I'll get a film attached here to protect this lovely display. And this is Country Hills Boulevard, which I travel on every time to and from work. Oh, and I called the guy and I said, hey, ETA 15 minutes. He says, we're here, we're waiting for you. Okay.
Use the right lane to keep right onto 14th Street Northwest.
14th Street. So this one goes north and south. So now I'm heading east, I think. Yeah, and now we're turning south.
Keep right.
So these guys are definitely not drywallers, because this area has been developed a long time ago. All these houses are old, well, relatively so, but I'm pretty sure there's no new construction. So these guys are either they renovating something, or sometimes, you know, people that, so who rents scaffolding, it's either drywall guys or electricians, plumbers, you know.
In 600 meters, turn left onto Sandstone Drive Northwest.
On Christmas, some people get it to put up lights, but actually mostly for Christmas lights people rent scissor lifts, or even rough terrain boom lift. A couple of times I delivered that one. Guys were installing lights on trees, you know, like in a park, and of course it's dirt, right? So you cannot use regular scissor lift to travel from one tree to another, and so they rented a rough terrain boom lift. One of my favorite machines. Okay, we're turning here somewhere.
Turn left onto Sandstone Drive Northwest.
Oh.
Then the destination is on your left.
And there's a gas station here, so I can quickly stop and get something to drink. I feel like it. On the Run, Chevron. Gas today is $1.55 for some reason. Went up. Actually, there was a piece of news on TV about this. A week ago it was $1.50. Now it's $1.55, and they're canceling the carbon tax, so the price should be cheaper, they say, by 15 cents, but that carbon tax is gonna be
The destination is on your left.
is gonna be cut
Arrived.
April 1st. All right, I see a garbage container. Yeah, that's my place. Okay, I show up there, and there's a bunch of guys. They unload pretty much themselves, and the main guy says narrow frames. I thought I ordered 5x5, and like I check my paperwork thinking, you know, holy moly, did I make a mistake? No, I look at the paperwork, narrow frames, and he says miscommunication. And then they talk between themselves, and it's interesting, you know, language. And they look like people from the north, you know, very distinctive looking. And I asked one guy, I said, what language are you guys speaking? He says, Mongolian. Mongolian? I said, how did you end up in Canada? Never saw Mongolian people in Canada, because it's so far, right? Because Mongolia. I said, hey, I'm from Russia. I said, I know Mongolia. All right, so I just grab a drink and head back to see what else. But normally once I start the day in a pickup truck, I continue in a pickup truck, because we have 3 drivers, so the driver number 3 took my Freightliner. So we have 3 drivers, but we have 2 Freightliners and 3 pickup trucks. So I'm pretty sure that today I'll be in a pickup truck all day. So I come back, and they put me in the Freightliner, and they say, and they give me a ticket to go pick up a scissor lift in Northwest. So I text the guy saying I'm coming and my ETA as usual, and to my surprise I get a reply. Like normally people
Take the exit.
don't say anything,
then
you know.
keep right to merge onto Stony Trail.
This guy says way too early. We have to bring the machine to
Use
the front.
right lane to keep right to merge onto Stony Trail.
Come after lunch. And I said, you know, after lunch, I have lunch at 11, some people have lunch at 2. So I said, what time? He says 1:30. All right, so I climb out of the truck, go back to dispatch, tell them the story, and they said, go wash the pickup truck. So they gave me a card for the car wash. Like nearby there's a car wash. I didn't even know, but it looks like we just got this service set up. So I drove there in one of our pickup trucks. It was lots of fun, you know, like basically wash it yourself, you know, like pre-soaked and high pressure soap, all that good stuff. I especially liked how the tires and rims,
For about 38 kilometers,
you know,
continue straight.
looked after, because they had a special tire and wheel, you know, spray. When you switch, you choose on the screen, right, what you want to do, like a brush, soap brush, you know, pre-soak, high pressure soak, stuff like that, right? And I washed inside as well, and so then I see that it has 50% of fuel. Okay, I'll go get fuel. Went to the gas station that has some diesel, and there's an A&W burger place there. So I called dispatch. I said, I just filled up the pickup truck, I'll take my lunch break here. And they said, okay. So I went in, had a burger, and not sure why I got fries. Man, too many calories, you know. But I got a triple burger, lots of good protein. And then I went back. That pickup is still like 1:30, right? And the time I was back, it was like 11:20. And I said, so you want me to wash another pickup truck? And they said, sure. Okay, cool. I grabbed another pickup truck, the same Ford F-350, drove to the same car wash that I now know as the back of my hand. Wash this one, you know, floor mats, wash the interior. Actually, this one, this was my last victim. So now it's very clean inside. I cleaned up this thing over here, but floor mats were like, man, there was gravel. I don't know how guys get gravel on floor mats, and there's on the side under the door there was a bunch of gravel, you know, like small rocks. So I cleaned up all that. Now 2 trucks out of 3 now, pickup trucks, look gorgeous, you know. And also went and filled up this one just to kill time for before that next pickup. Came back and I see they have a pickup for a pickup truck, scaffolding. So now I'm in the ring road. Distance is about, I don't know, right now I'm at 42 clicks. So it'll take me half an hour according to Apple Maps. So this is the ring road going east and south towards the very bottom of Calgary, southeast. It's on the other side of the ring road. Basically, once I reach that point, I have to take, I forgot, Highway 2 and go further south. What the? Now, one thing I don't like on these pickup trucks, it can be really irritating, is that the signals. Oh, check this out. This guy is big. Bunch of axles. I was hoping to see something like that, because you know I'm driving all the time. Sometimes I see some cool trucks, you know. And so yeah, the signal, if you just touch it as normal, it gives you 3 blips. Perp, 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 right? 3 clicks. But if you push it harder, it doesn't want to stay. It's all kind of like touch, you know. If you push it harder, it stays on forever, and then you have to move it slightly up to cancel that. But if you're not careful and you push it a bit too hard, let's say you want to cancel the left signal, right? So you want to push up, but now you activate the right signal, and that's exactly what happened now. I passed the guy, and then I indicated that I'm returning to my lane, and the wrong signal was showing. See, now it's 3. Okay, boom. But sometimes 3, it's not enough. Like, I like how in my Jeep, in the Jeep Compass, they have the extended version. When I just touch the signal, you know, stalk, I get 5 signals. You see, like now, 1, 2, 3. That's it. But in the Jeep, I get 5, and it's much better. So yeah, the one after lunch is for that guy, 130. Is a small scissor lift, and here I'm picking up Silverado. I like GMC better. Either GMC or Ram. And also, you know, I pay attention to these things. There's a very large number of Ford Raptors. You know, looks like people like them. Whenever you see a Ford, there's a 50% chance, like a Ford pickup truck, that it's not a regular pickup truck, it's a Raptor, and you can tell by the size it's wider and has different fenders, and then on the back it says Raptor. And here, over here, we have a walking path that goes very, very far. It actually goes north and west as well. Once I took out my bike before the weather turned cold, and I drove from my home, road from my home all the way past all these houses to this bridge over here. No, wait, I think that's already too far. No, there was a bridge before, 80th Avenue, where actually it's not connected to anything. You know, they built a bridge, but the road on the other side has not been finished yet, and so the bridge is there. It says flyover. Yeah, this is already McKnight, sorry. I'm guessing they built that one so that people can get easier to... there's a new settlement here on the other side of 201, so you have to go back. Like, you have to cross here and then take the road there and go back. Whereas when they build the road on that 80th Avenue, it'll be much quicker to get to that community. I was there a couple of times with Uber, brought some people there, picked up somebody. I forgot what it's called. Legacy, not Legacy, something, but you know, some new community. And there's just houses, and only recently they started building like a small retail plaza, you know, strip plaza with a gas station, couple of convenience stores. Before this, there was nothing there. So you have to drive even just to buy ice cream somewhere, you know, like, or coffee, because there was not a single shop in that place. A semi truck is on my tail, doing the same speed as me. Volvo, which was my first truck, right when I started driving in 2005 for Challenger Motor Freight. The first truck they gave me was a Volvo with a small sleeper, and the truck was about like 5-6 years old, but it was my first truck. I loved it. As a company driver, of course. It was, you know, very like a short base, like most Canadian trucks. I think it was like 236 or even less than that inches. And it was very easy to maneuver, you know. We have a lot of coming traffic on the right. Check out this concrete truck. The guy has 2 steering axles and 3 axles in the back for the total of 5. And it's a straight truck, not a trailer, not a truck and trailer. Because some of these big ones, you know, that they pull these, what they call those cylinders with the concrete mixers. Some of them are truck and trailer, but this guy is just a truck. It's international. I can see the logo on the front, which is interesting. Like I'm like that, you know, I don't know, native hunter that when he sings a song, he just sings a song about everything he sees. I'm passing some houses, the trees look good, a big truck is passing on the left, nobody's on the right, so I might move to the right to avoid this ugly semi truck. So anyway, I was just saying that international, right? So if Volvo was my first truck period as a company driver, international was my first truck when I became an owner operator. Or some people, some old timers say broker. Are you a driver or broker? Meaning, are you a company driver or is it your truck? I don't know, how did they come up with the term broker? Like, broker is a middleman, right? Like, what are you, middleman between the truck and the boss? All right, on the left, what do we have? Double hopper or something. It's like agricultural trailer, very useful for moving all kinds of crops, fertilizers probably, right? So 2 axles in the back, 3 in the middle, and regular 3 axle. Let me guess, Western Star. Steve LaBelle Trucking. Looks good. And that international was 2007. I bought it for $64,000 with financing, of course. My payments were $1,600 a month, and it had very limited mileage, just like less than 300,000 kilometers. You know, it was excellent condition inside. It was like new, and it was bright yellow. And had a cat, and I did all kinds of mods on that truck. I mean, I changed the torque from 1650 to 1850. I changed the power because back then Caterpillar was allowed to do that. So I did the you know, all kinds of mods that made the truck really strong. But then it started rusting. The frame started rusting like crazy. The muffler, there was a single pipe vertical exhaust. It was all rusted. And so at one point, I still have videos about this right on my channel. At one point I became so tired of looking at that muffler all covered in rust, and I tried to clean it up, but it's like it was too much. I was in New York State, and right next to a truck stop there was an international dealer. I went in and I said, guys, how much would it cost to chop off the muffler? And he says, what do you want to do instead? I said, well, just can you get me like a horizontal pipe And so that's what they did. They cut off the muffler and they made the horizontal exhaust like straight through. Man, that truck was a blast to drive. It's so freaking loud. Oh, another multi-axle guy. It was so loud. I'm telling you, when I was passing somebody, let's say I'm driving and I'm catching up, let's say, with a guy like this, you know, like a driving trailer, and then just for fun I would push the throttle to pick up speed, and this thing like, and if the guy had the open window like here, right on the driver's side, and I'm passing here and I hit the throttle, his truck goes like this, you know, like a couple of times I saw this. Like, people got really scared, you know, because it was unbelievably loud, you know. And so yeah, at first it was cool for 1 week, it was cool for 2 weeks, then after 3 weeks I started going slightly nuts, because it was just, you know, the sound, it was so deep, and the rumbling, and it's just crazy, you know. My teeth were shaking when I pushed the throttle. And so finally, after 1 month, I decided to call it a day, and I found that Flowmaster, my favorite muffler manufacturer, was actually making
In about 10 kilometers, take exit 101 beyond
a muffler like for a 5-inch pipe.
and Stony Trail towards city center.
And so I ordered that one, and I think it was horizontal. So I went to a commercial muffler shop in Hamilton, Ontario, and those guys installed that muffler, and right away the sound became, you know, it was still there, loud, but, you know, bearable. So yeah, that International was a lot of fun. $64,000. Man, you cannot buy a truck like that. So that's 2005, so 20 years ago. Now you need to spend probably, like, for a regular truck like that, you know, just a regular tandem in the back, 12,000 in the front, 40,000 in the back, axles. Nowadays it's probably close to 200,000. So one thing I could have done is buy that truck and put it in storage, you know, and then wait 20 years and then sell it. I would have made a killing if it didn't rust through until but then of course, how do you make payments? $1,600 every month. Now my mortgage is $850. Yeah, those were the days. All right, we are 7 clicks away from our exit, and after that it's another 8 kilometers. What? You know, I always look at this, like, let's say the final turn from the freeway, how many kilometers to that? So now it says 6.1, but then I look at this number, total distance says 15. So that means that after I leave the freeway, I still have a lot, you know, long distance to drive. And sometimes that tells you that something is off, like the GPS is sending you the wrong way, you know, maybe there's another route. And when I woke up this morning and until lunchtime, I was positive today was Thursday, you know. And then I look and it says Friday. What? Where did the week go? Where did the last 2 years went? Where did the last 2 years go? Sorry. I moved here in October, and I bought the apartment in October 22. Can you believe this? Now it's already almost April 25. But I'm super happy with my job. I'm telling you that. I love the management, very easy, very great guys, you know. Already got a couple of raises, even though I didn't ask for them. And class 1, I don't know, I might, when it's time to do medicals, or when it's time to update my license, I'll probably switch to class 3. Because I don't see any difference, you know, between, like here actually it's way easier, right? I drive a pickup truck, I'm still getting great money, the same, like my salary does not change when I jump from a Freightliner 5-ton tilt and load flatbed tow truck into this, but this is much easier, right? But my salary does not change, so they pay me the same money whether I'm driving a Freightliner or a pickup truck. And these diesel pickup trucks, I love them. There's so much power. They're like,
In 2 kilometers, take exit 101B onto Highway 22X.
they are a joy to drive.
Towards city center.
But class 1, like to drive a semi truck with a trailer, first off, it's always hard to find something local. So chances are, if I were to go for one of these, like that Hopper guy is catching up, I would be on the road again for like 2-3 weeks at a time, and I don't want to do that. And one of the reasons is that I did that for 17 years, but the second reason is
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 101B onto
it's because I have this a rental business, you know. So let's say I'm somewhere, okay, I can prepare the Durango, leave it in that spot, right, hide the key somewhere, let's say it's clean, it's fueled, and then somebody books it, but I'm far away. So let's say I'm in Texas
Take the exit.
doing some run, so yeah, they can take it. But let's say the guy rents it for 3 days, then he returns it.
Take exit 3 onto Sun Valley Boulevard toward Chaparral Boulevard.
I think I'm going straight, yeah, okay. But then the guy returns it, so I have to clean it, right? I have nobody that can, like, I live alone, right? And let's say 2 days later somebody else rents it. I'm still in Texas, sitting there waiting for a load. So it's not gonna work for me, you know? And also now trucking is in jeopardy because of the trade war with the US. Because of the tariffs. Like, I heard that people are, you know, firing employees. So now is not a good time, actually. I got out of trucking in a very good time, and I got very lucky with the sale of truck and trailer. I made great money, and the Canada Revenue Agency was extremely happy. They were jumping for joy because all of a sudden I owed them a bunch of money, because I had to show that as my,
Take exit 3 onto Sun Valley Boulevard toward Chaparral Boulevard.
I had to show the money I made as income. It was too much. You have to declare it. Like if it was like 20 bucks, right? Okay, I made 20 bucks. But it was like $100,000. And check out the weather. The weather is finally nice. It's gonna get warmer and warmer every day. Okay, I think I'm taking this exit next to this golf course. There's a river.
To take exit 3 onto Sun Valley Boulevard toward Chaparral Boulevard.
There's always trucks parked in there. People go for hiking probably along the river. Yeah, there's some paths. Oh, I see a guy in the water. 2 guys fishing, and they're up to their knees in the water. Probably smokers, you know, because smokers, they don't feel their legs.
Take the exit.
So they go in the water, they don't care. It's like 0 degrees, 32 F, we're fine.
onto Sun Valley Boulevard southeast toward Chaparral Boulevard.
Yeah, you see, I'm going like that's the ring road, right? So Calgary is this way, and I'm going on the other side of the ring road. To me, that's far. When you're outside of the ring road,
Turn left.
that's not good. Because yeah, it was almost 50 clicks, 30 miles from our base to this place. I'm surprised my GoPro is still working. You see, that's what happens when you have a good battery.
In about 3 kilometers, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Walton Drive southeast.
Oh, from here we are 3.9 kilometers. 2.5 miles. That's the ring road. Here it has 3 lanes in each direction. Also known as a Stony Trail. Stony, S-T-O-N-E-Y, Stony. And most people here, they don't say the word trail because everybody knows what they're talking about. Oh, let's take Stony. No, don't take Stony, let's take Deerfoot. No, are you crazy? I never take Deerfoot in the morning. So Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, Stony Trail, the ring road, Highway 201. And I mentioned this before, nobody uses numbers. If you say Highway 2, people are looking at you. What's Highway 2? Oh, you mean Deerfoot? Ah, okay, roger that. And if you say 201, I was on 201 this morning and this guy is passing me, you know. 201, where is that? The US? No, that's the Stony Trail. Oh, Stony Trail, why didn't say so? Uh-oh. And of course all these guys are flying like freaking guy. He found a good spot where to stop. Father is teaching his kid how to ride a bike. I think the kid still had the training wheels on. Now I know this road because sometimes they send me here in a Freightliner, and I know that somewhere, I think over there was a sign, no trucks. So basically, yeah, here they don't want trucks, like semi trucks. I mean, commercial trucks, not this one, but like my oh, another guy, look at this, they're just parking like this.
In 1 kilometer, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Walton Drive southeast.
Yes, ma'am. So Friday, okay, so I'm working tomorrow. So I'm gonna go and set my alarm for 4 a.m. and start my Uber and Lyft at 4:30 and see if I can make a couple of bucks before I head over to work, because we're still, Saturday we still work, we're still open at 7:45 instead of 6:45 like during the week. And so from 4:30, imagine, that gives me like 3 hours. And mornings are usually super great for...
At the roundabout, take the third exit onto Walton Drive southeast.
Like last time I did this, 5 o'clock, I pick up a guy in my area, take him to the airport. I took like 3 people, I think. 3 people to the airport. And then one other guy was going to Costco, probably like a manager, at 6 a.m. I'm taking him to Costco in Northwest. And I said, Costco? Like, are they even open? He goes, oh no, I work there, I'm a manager. And so, and they all, you know, they work there because you
At
take...
the roundabout, take the second exit, then take the first left onto Walgrove Street Southeast.
Because you take them to the back entrance, not the front. So yeah, lots of people use Uber in the morning, early morning.
Turn left onto Walgrove Street Southeast, then turn right onto Walgrove Boulevard Southeast.
Man, so many turns.
Turn right onto Walgrove Boulevard Southeast, then take the first left onto Walgrove Place Southeast.
Holy moly, I'm gonna end up in Ukraine somewhere,
Turn
I think.
left onto Walgrove Place Southeast, then arrive at your destination.
I don't think I need place. I think I need Walgrove. Actually, no, right. Walgrove Place. Okay. Okie dokie, yeah. Here we have new construction. Oh yeah, I didn't put the number because it couldn't find that number, so I just put in the street. I need to see which. Let me see check my. And here's a typical load of scaffolding. So decks, these are 7-footers, braces, 5x5 frames, and casters. So casters, they go in here at the bottom so that easy for people to move the structure, and then pigtail locks, they are put in there. So it's an ingenious, simple way, no tools required to assemble all of this and disassemble. And then of course these can be 7 feet long, they can be 5, or most popular is 10, but same frames. But also we have half frame, which is like this size, and then we have same height but half, kind of like cut horizontally. Some people want that. So this is called trademark scaffolding, so large frames. Because we also have Baker scaffolding, which is yellow color, and it's much smaller. So now you know what it is.